We gather round for the halftime chat. Old friends cracking jokes and talking stats. From life's little games to the greatest plays. Love and the stories from the old glory days. With Phillies heart and coach's cheer, we break it down every moment, dear. Life is a team and we've got the plan. Sports, love, and laughter, that's who we am.
Peace and blessings, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Halftime Coaching Adjustment Show with my brother, Philly Halftime. I'm Coach Ed, and we're the two old farts just here to talk sports, life, whatever it is we want to talk about. So appreciate everyone for being here and rocking with us as always. So again, thank you for being here. Make sure you guys, y'all know the routine. Hit that like button, man. Hit it for halftime, for myself, for the Hardcore Sports Network, the Aboriginal Sports Network. We really appreciate the support. Make sure you guys sub up, get notified so you know when we post new content. Make sure you comment. If you're on Facebook, give us a thumbs up. If you're on X, hit the heart button. Come on, help the two brothers out. Help the network out.
Yeah.
Man. We appreciate it. So, before we get into everything, how you doing today, Halftime?
Pushing through, Coach. Pushing through. That's all I can do. It's a rough week, you know how it goes.
No, I understand. So
I want to tell everybody thank you for all the prayers and all. Thank you guys so much.
Always,
It's
man.
been a rough
Always.
week.
Hey, but you know,
Like I
your
said,
family great.
This week was a bad country song.
I remember you saying that earlier.
Dog died. Yeah, they take my wife to go get her chemo, and then find out 1 o'clock in the morning my brother died on Friday. Bad country song, but it's a country song.
No, I hear you. But always remember, we're here. This family too. It's your extended family, so we're always going to be here with you. So let's check this.
That's what I love about. That's what I found out that I loved about YouTube. People really came out and reached out to me when they found out my brother died, you know. And that is, and when my wife had found out she had cancer, everybody here came out and like big, you know, hey, we'll talk to you, and you guys show up a lot of support, and I appreciate all that. I really do.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. That's some serious love.
Got a new member, Adam CC. Thank you for being a new member. Little Griffith, I'm a big Phillies fan. Okay. I did 18 years in Special Olympics. Kudos to you. That's a beautiful thing. I've done coverage of Special Olympics when I was doing football. We came down and did support right there in they were in Central Jersey. I think they were down close to Hamilton when we went. So
yeah, I remember they used to have in that area. Used to have the Special Olympics for people in South Jersey. And it goes from South Jersey, North Jersey. Everybody comes all over the place. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
The league I was in, we had the three. There was a North Jersey, Central Jersey, and a South Jersey. So yeah. Star Wars. What's up? He says the Phillies are not going anywhere. Well, we're going to dive into the baseball.
Bye to everybody. Bye. Say, hey,
hello. How are you?
Leaving.
There goes the princess.
Coach. Say bye, Coach.
Bye, Coach.
Bye, Coach.
Bye.
Yeah.
And he says the Mets will win tonight. That we probably won. We don't win in Citi Field. If you Arcu says halftime, if you need anything let us know. Of course, we're
Man,
right
you
here.
guys, like this, that's what I mean, Arco. You guys are awesome, dude. Thank you for the support. And it's like
Mm.
the only thing they could do is just listen to me rant. You know what I mean? Let it
Sometimes
let me just slide off my shoulder. That's
mm-hmm,
all.
mm-hmm. Yeah, we all need that from time to time. Trust and believe. I know that. I mean, even my old grumpy ass. Sometimes my kids will tell you, and my kids will say, "Dad, just let it out. Just stop it. Just let it out." And then when sometimes you just gotta be so. But
Yep.
hey,
Sometimes you gotta do it. You know what I mean? You just gotta let it. You know what I mean? I
exactly.
always say, I always let everything go off my shoulder. You know what I mean? You can put anything on me.
Mm. Well, this is a heavy load, so we're here to take some of that stress off it for you. So, but let's get into the topics today. And the first one we're going to talk about, hey, the champs are here. I gotta. Halftime, you were a year too late, but
I
hey,
wasn't here too late.
yeah. So
I wish it was just last year, just so I could be at least right about it.
exactly.
But
So
you guys were injured too last year.
injured, the
You guys
coaching,
could have done it last year, I thought, but
the coaching
the
change, I think,
injuries.
also helped. The
Yeah.
coaching change was a big difference, man. It really was. So, um, and the question already. I mean, literally, it was the next day or 2 days after the Knicks won, and they already put out the odds. I was just like, damn, you ain't even give us a chance. And
Yeah,
hey,
you didn't get the camp. You don't know what teams are going to be looking like.
mm-hmm. And already the Knicks are fourth. So I'm like, hey, I love being an underdog. So what's next for the Knicks? Right now, they're going through all that right now. They just re-signed Jose Alvarado and Diawara. I needed Diawara, so I was ecstatic. We're now trying to find out if they're going to lose Mitchell Robinson and or Landry Shamet. So that's the biggest thing with the Knicks. But when you think about it, when you're the champ, if you're worrying more about your bench and your core is set, that's a good thing. So, can the Knicks build on this their success? Yes. And there was an interview that I saw. Oh, it was with Mikal Bridges. And yeah, he was drunk. That was the funniest thing. Wembyama. That was hilarious. If y'all
Man,
didn't see it, go on YouTube,
I had to
Google it,
watch that
and
one.
yeah, he was drunk. So, but he did say, "Look, people don't sleep on JB, but that man will win. He wants to win, and if you want to count him out, he's going to prove you wrong," which is true, which is so true. So hey. Right now, the biggest moves for them to remain as a contender, honestly, is getting your bench solidified. That's it. Your core five is set. I mean, even oh, and then of course ownership, Dolan putting it out there that the Knicks basically they're not going to the second level. So which is why they could lose guys. So in the draft, what did they do? They basically traded out of the first round. Traded out, which was smart, saved them about $5 million, in comparison to what they would have had to pay a rookie. So, and they got a couple guys in the second round. One of the guys is from Germany, and we don't even know if they're going to stash him overseas. So that'll be money you don't have to pay. So, the biggest thing is securing your bench, and it comes down to Mitchell Robinson, really. You know, I mean, he's the biggest component to the Knicks. I mean, what's your thoughts on the Knicks? Do you think they can repeat? I mean, what do you think they need to do to repeat?
I said this morning. I
Mhm.
don't think they can repeat.
Okay.
But I also was saying I don't think they're going to repeat, and I don't think they're But I you got so much value right now
Mm-hmm.
that you can make a blockbuster move, you know, and you can make a trade and get way more like I was saying, would you trade Brunson? Would you trade was it Love? Would you trade one of these guys because you can get a blockbuster move? You're gonna get overvalue for them right now. Now this is me. Right now you can get overvalue for all these guys, and you're not going to. I don't think you're going to run it back. You're not going to repeat, but the values are at the peak. You're going to get the most you're ever going to get for the guys. You're going to get 5 first-round picks. You're going to get some crazy picks, or you're going to get you can get a crazy, make some crazy moves. Right now, you just traded and lost 5 first-round picks. I forget the guy you got. You traded for. But you did lost 5 friggin' first-round picks. I think you guys gotta. That's what I would do. Because guess what? Yeah, I know everybody wants to keep the core. Everybody's gonna want to keep that core. But guess what? You're not gonna repeat. Why keep it? You're not going to do it.
Because it gives you the best chance. Because now look,
you could make a blockbuster move right now.
Look, here's the thing: if they wanted the blockbuster deal, they could have called Milwaukee and been in on Giannis. They didn't want to do that because why? Why would you do that? Cat Town played perfectly. To me, I get what you're saying about a blockbuster, but I don't agree with it.
I know nobody, and I never think no one's going to agree with it. No one will agree with me. But you know what's going to happen later on down the line? You know what's going to happen? They're going to be like, "We got nowhere with it. It was over, but we still rode their coattails, and you could have advanced."
I'm going to say this. Okay.
I know you. I know
you said.
I know you think you're gonna for years to come.
Here's the thing, because you said you're going to get nowhere, and I'm going to say yes, we did. We got somewhere. Remember, 53 years. Somewhere.
But you got to rip that band. You got to advance.
But that's the point. You can't strip it down and then try to go somewhere with. You said the blockbuster. To me, when you say the blockbuster, that's stripping.
I'm not saying trade everybody. I didn't.
No. I don't mean it like that. You're taking a key cog out of the starting 5. Yes. For that's where I'm like, okay, who are you talking about? If you tell me Karl Anthony Towns, I'm like, no, you can't, because there's no center in the league right now for the Knicks, for how they play, and that includes Wembanyama. But Wembanyama cannot do what Karl Anthony Towns does. So you take him out. He can shoot from the outside. He can still take you off the dribble. He's serviceable now on the defensive side, and his facilitation, his ability to get the offense going, helps the other guys. So that, to me, maybe you say Jokic. Now, if you're telling me Cat for Jokic, we can have that serious discussion.
Like him, you can trade Love.
We don't have Love.
Huh?
No, in our starting 5, you got Hart. Are you talking about
Hart? Sorry, not Love. Hart. My bad. My brain.
No, that's all right.
That's a lot of brilliance.
I know that.
Hart. But I'm saying you could trade him.
You can trade. He said trade Brunson.
Yeah.
What are you smoking? Yeah, I'm with you there. Brunson is the king of New York.
I mean, but what I'm saying, I was given an example. When I said Brunson, I'm saying big names on the team. Please, they're gonna trade Saquon Barkley, buddy. They're gonna trade him.
What he's saying is to trade Brunson after you won the championship.
Yeah.
Would the Eagles have done it right after? No, you didn't do it right after the championship.
But
tried to.
But to me, the trade value, I'm always saying the trade value is at the peak. If the Eagles were to trade Saquon Barkley, the trade value is up on Barkley. You're going to get so much for him. Even if you traded Devontae Smith and you traded Jalen Hurts. Guess what? Their trade values as the most as you're going to get them. That's how I look.
I get you.
It's
I get what you're saying.
Like,
You're
not going anywhere.
You're trying to jump while it's hot, basically.
Yes.
And what I'm saying is, okay. I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is, right after the win of the championship, you go and you try and do it again. You don't make a serious trade. You want to add to the back end? Yes, I'm with you there. There's certain things you got to do. That's why it's like, okay, well, if it's Mitchell Robinson, what do you do? How do you go about it? What is it going to cost you? But you don't break up a championship team, not with key pieces, right away. Now, if you want to say next year, if, like you said, we don't repeat and there's questions, okay, we can have that discussion. We can talk about it there. What's up, Chad? You know how we do. Clap, clap, smack, smack. Yeah, baby. He says halftime misses Kenny Pickett.
No, I do not.
Eagles trading Barkley. What's up, Taco? Thanks for tapping in. Yep. I get what halftime is saying, but I don't ever remember anyone. Yeah, I no, that's but he was using that as an example. He was using that as an example.
Thing. Please. You don't trade. You wait until it's 2 over, and then you say, "Oh well, I give this guy an extension." Now, here we are. We give him an extension. Now what? We didn't get nowhere.
No, but well, we have to see because it's like OKC. I get what you're saying. It's just like OKC. They won. They extended guys, but they lost in the Western Finals. Yep. Oh, cool. But they're still one of the top teams in the league, and that's the thing.
What I'm saying is they, to me, and this is any sport. It's not Knicks. It's not that. You advance. If when the Phillies went to the World Series, right? I said, this is where you trade people because it's at their highest value. Everybody's going to overpay for all these people. It doesn't have to, it is, but this is all sports. You should make some, people might say it's drastic. People's feelings might get a little hurt. But the value is up on that guy as much as it's going to ever get. So you should ride. You should not just ride with him and keep him. You gotta advance.
So here's the thing. I'm going to say this, and I know that most of you guys will look at me like I'm crazy for saying this, but I'm asking halftime this question. Because based on your premise, your argument, the Knicks should be, trying to trade core piece players. But if you went back to the Bulls in the 90s, should they have traded Scottie Pippen? Should they have traded Horace Grant? No, look what they did. They created a dynasty. And if it wasn't for Jordan going away for 2 years, there's a strong possibility they would have won 8 straight.
I don't know about that one. But hold on. When the Bulls did that run, and I watched them, I did say it. I would trade.
Bro, you crazy. You crazy.
The value is so high on them.
But look what they got. You could say the value is high, but they got the dynasty. Yes. That to me is more valuable than the value of a player is high at the time, so you sell off on them. No, I want the dynasty.
But even when the Bulls did it, I'm like, man, you might as well if they made those just
for who though? That's the thing, and I get what you're saying. But like Blaze is saying, that's the other thing. There's also the chemistry. That's one of the biggest things about this Knicks team. They have great chemistry. Great. And you think about it. Brunson, Bridges, Hart. They won a championship in college. Now they won. So they have great chemistry. That's why sometimes you keep the pieces together and you just work on it on the back end. You adjust certain things. That I get you, but I'm not ready to trade off my. I'm not trading OG. I'm not
I know.
trading Brunson. I'm not trading Cat. I'm not thinking about
I
trading
get it.
Hart. I'm not.
I get it. I mean, I'm the only one that's gonna say it. And then later on, everybody gonna be like, well, they won that one.
2020 is hindsight. So at the present moment, because I'm in the moment, I'm only focused on the
I
moment.
know.
I'm not doing it. So
I know.
but
And every fan be like, you're crazy halftime. What the fuck are you talking about? You
no,
know
but guess
why?
what? I get you. I get
You wanna
you.
know why? Because
Why?
you had to advance. And
Yeah.
their stock market is now. This is where it's in any sport.
So what happens if they come back and they do win it again? Wouldn't it mean their value is even higher?
No.
Why? They
No.
won it back to back now.
No.
Not back to back.
I'm telling you, because you do it now, everybody's would be drooling at the dinner table. They'd be like, "Oh my god, are the Knicks serious? Let's do it. I'll give them 5 first-round picks. I'll give them whatever they want."
Mm.
I'm telling you, Coach, they'll be thrilled at the dinner
I'm
table.
gonna, as Josh Hart said, like with those first round picks, he said, F them F them draft picks. And I'm with him. F them draft picks. Because you know what, Brooklyn? Those draft picks are gonna be on the back end, on the low end. And the Knicks, they got the championship and they're gonna be competing again for more. So, but we'll see. We'll see.
We'll
But
see.
now let's move on.
I know I said it. Whatever. I'm the only guy that's going to say it.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Crazy, but guess what? I said it when the Phillies went to the World Series. Now the trade value's up. The most they're going to get, trade them. Because that's where you're going to get the most out of them.
Logically, I get what you're saying. I get it because Strike Wilder getting this hot. But let's go ahead and talk about the Sixers. Okay, and the questions are the Sixers headed in the right directions? And then the question of LeBaron Philon Jr. How will he fit into the Sixers style of play and culture? So, first of all, do you think the Sixers as an organization they're headed in the right direction overall?
I don't know. I thought he was. I didn't I'm not too fond of the move that what they got. I get it. Mm-hmm. Everybody's like, oh, he was supposed to be a top 10 pick. Mm-hmm. He dropped for a reason to 22. Nobody's telling us the reason why he dropped. You know what I mean? If you want to tell me because he's 6'3" and he's small, I do think he needs to work in the gym and bulk up a little bit. But I think a lot of players on basketball need to bulk up a little bit, But can he hit the three? Yes, he can hit the three. I do like that, but I just think that they should have went. They could have. They should have went center or something. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't like the move, but. And everybody's just like, if the Sixers, it doesn't matter who the Sixers went and got. Mm-hmm. Fans are going to be like, oh my God, he's the greatest. That's what they do. Everyone. And then
all I can say is to all fans, there's only been one greatest that I know of. And his name was formerly Cassius Clay and became Muhammad Ali. As he said, I am the greatest, and he backed it up. So, but no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and
I remember when he was fighting in the goddamn jungle. Rumble in the jungle, baby.
It says Philon dropped because the other teams made a mistake. That's why he dropped. He's a baby. He will get bigger for sure. He's amazing. He's an amazing shooter and defender, and matches Maxey and VJ style better than McCain. So, and I've heard that same thing, that he's better than McCain, especially because of the defensive end. So he's actually an upgrade over McCain. So I haven't done any research. I saw a couple of highlight videos, and we'll see. Nikki says we needed a forward. Senek Jr. was a good choice. Boston got him. Hopefully, it don't backfire. So, Nikki's kind of with you in terms of getting a big player. Yeah, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Yep, Ali was the great. Yep, oh yep, the only one. He coined that exactly. He's the only greatest that I know of. So, but I'm interested. I mean, yeah, you're one of the.
I mean, I when somebody says they're going to supposed to be the number 10th pick, when you drop to 22, that's far.
But why did the other teams
just happen not to pay attention, and the Sixers didn't even have to move up to get them.
But here's the thing: is it the other teams went for more of a need for them? Because that could also factor in. And I know you're saying he was projected as high as 10.
Yes.
But if you're telling me that really even though he was projected as high as, but most were saying he was like say about 15.
Right.
And you get him at what 22? It's a 7. It's a 7. I look at it as
it's a big drop. That's big to me.
Yeah. Here he had 8 games over 30, and he played at Alabama, so he played in good competition, and he kept getting bit. Yeah, but yes, agree. Sixers still need backup big. All offseason still going on. Yeah, we know that there's a lot going on. I mean, I'm intrigued, especially with Mitchell, because I'm going to hate it if he goes to you guys. I am going to hate it. You're going to see such venom that you guys got him. Now, look, to get him though, you probably gonna have to pay $20 million for a bench player. So that's the question. Do you guys, oops, what did he say? Caption. This was our Martians. Oh, he's throwing baseball. Okay. Following was projected top 15 from 50, had other needs. Yeah, so that's why I was saying it's like I'm looking at where he was. What's up, Mitch? Where were the projections? Yeah, no, it happens all the time. We know that. Things like that happen, so we'll see. Yeah, we're gonna dive a little bit into hockey too. So, appreciate that, Cameron. He was projected just out of the lottery, so yes, you cannot pass on talent like him. So again, like I said, I gotta go see it. Nick Nurse is a great coach because of that. I think they'll be in the middle of the East. So we'll see. I don't want Mitchell Robinson, but if Coach would hate it. Yeah, you're right, Blaze. I would hate it because think about it. I would hate it because I have to. Even though I've heard the Nets are also interested, I would hate it there, but I could accept it better there because it's the Nets. Let's be real. You guys at least have a good team. I've been saying it to you guys. I told y'all before. You guys going to make the playoffs. Everyone's saying. I get it. I get it. And I look at the landscape and, look, you get adequate bench scoring. I get what you're saying about a big. Yes, you need a bench big. The Knicks right now need a bench big. So everyone needs a bench big, and they're far and few in the NBA right now. So, but do you think overall halftime that the Sixers are headed in the right direction overall? Now, let's not even talk about the draft pick. But do you think you guys are headed in the right direction to be competitive?
I'm worried about Kelly Oubre, in my opinion. I'm worried about it. We don't re-sign him because I like Kelly Oubre. I think he plays a hell of a game. I like his defense. I like the way he plays. But hopefully they're headed in the right direction. Well, they got rid of their GM, so they're headed in the right direction. They got rid of their GM.
That speaks about what Fallon did to the champs. 35-7 against Michigan. Wow, that's good. And Michigan did have a team last year. They really did have a team last year. So I believe the Phillies win. Go to the we're going to talk about the baseball. I think they keep Oubre but lose Grimes. Who knows though? Definitely agree.
I agree with Blaze. I think they're going to lose Grimes. Because I think he wants like 25 million. But I think they're going to lose. I think they're going to lose Oubre.
I'm looking at the market. He may want it. Just because you want it doesn't mean you're going to get it. I
Right.
mean, I want some of the sexiest women that are out there. It doesn't mean I'm going to get them. Damn it. So, but no, I get what he's saying. So we'll see. Arku thinks you're going in the right direction. I do too. Now I get it.
Hey, they got rid of GM. That's in the right direction.
Okay. So ultimately it comes down to your starters though. It comes down to your key four, in Embiid staying healthy, Paul George staying healthy. If those two stay healthy, your team is a lot better and can compete in the East easily. I think your team actually would be better than Cleveland. You guys are a whole lot better than Cleveland, from your coaching staff all the way down to your players.
Well, they got Drummond's a free agent, right?
Yeah,
but right now they only have Bona.
But you're going to you can there are now look to me you can find players who are better than Drummond. You can now. I'm not even talking about Mitchell Robinson. Offensively, Mitchell Robinson is not better than Drummond, but younger. He's more athletic. He's a great defender. Hell of an offensive rebounder. He just kills you with no true offensive game and his free throws. But if you can live with that,
right.
Mitchell Robinson is a hell of a center. I hope he goes. If he doesn't come back to the Knicks, I hope he goes to the Lakers. I'm just going to be honest. That's where I hope he ends up, outside of the Knicks. So, but hey, that's me. That's me. Don't forget, I like the Lakers too. I mean, I've started with the Lakers, so. But real quick, we're going to last NBA topic, the big trade. Melo Ball to Minnesota.
Look where he went, and look what they got for him. They just overpaid for him. I mean, you could be stealing some freaking shit.
Look, and shout out to my man Leaf.
Right there. This is the proof right here, everybody, that I've been talking about. This is the proof. That's just stealing.
I'll say this. They have some talent on the team still. But shout out to Leaf. Leaf pointed it out to me last week. He said, you traded Julius Randle, and then you traded Naz Reid. So you have no power forwards. So right now, in a sense, I mean, they don't have a bench either, but they're, to me, a carbon copy of the San Antonio Spurs. This year, San Antonio got better because they did draft some bigs, some goons, as I like to say. But I will say this, because I think I talked to NYG. I forgot who else I was talking to. They might have the best backcourt in the NBA. So, and that's going to cause a lot of teams problems. So now you want to make the argument that they gave up too much? I mean, right now Naz Reid is a backup center, a backup player, unless you play him as center for Charlotte. So now you're playing him out of position. But if you stand put, you traded a bench player plus draft picks for LaMelo Ball. And that's and I get what others are saying. You overpaid, but where's the overpay? You traded a guy who was on your bench. You traded him.
The overpay is that he can't stay healthy.
Okay.
He's not on the court. How good can you be if you're not on the court?
But that's any player. That's any player halftime.
Yeah,
we can go to the league. What did I say?
Been healthy.
I said the same thing about your Sixers, right? I said if Embiid and Paul George stay healthy, if it's a hell of a team. Well, right now, if he stays healthy,
overpaid for him. But
Wells says this surprised me. I guess he's talking about that. Melo and Ant going to be in this. Yeah, they're going to be interesting. So, and that's the whole thing. I am worried about Ball's immaturity could do. Now, I don't think that Ant will take him and smack him around. Trust me, Ant is that type of dude. So, I said that to you. You said that to me too. So, Nas Reed is one of the best. Exactly. He's the best 6-man. So you trade a 6-man and draft picks for a high level talent.
A guy that can't stay on and be healthy.
But again, you could say that to about a lot of teams. Look,
I know.
as a
I'd
Knicks
say it
fan,
for my Sixers right now.
I'm gonna say this to you as a Knicks fan. We worried about OG. OG always kept getting hurt. So, but he stayed healthy for the most part, and look what happened. So, yes, you want to put that into the equation, fair, but you can't deny his talent, and that's the whole thing. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at, okay, you keep him, but Nas Reed is a 6-man, and you got the draft picks.
Oh, you fucking light. The fucking light, man. The fucking light.
I think he has been on. He's more of a detriment to his teams. We'll see. I say he's overrated. That's why they traded him. They didn't need him. Okay. I'm looking at what you traded for him. So I mean, hey, but who knows?
I mean,
who knows?
I know everybody has their opinion. You don't think they overpaid? I mean, I think they overpaid him. I think they overtraded for him.
So you basically you're saying Charlotte got the better of the deal. So
yeah,
we'll see. Now I'll say this: if Minnesota goes into the toilet and they're picking in the lottery consistently, then I think Charlotte wins. But if Minnesota's competing, for the West Finals or makes it to the NBA Finals, it's just like when people say, "Oh, the Nets robbed the Knicks because they got 5 draft picks for Mikal Bridges." Well, the Knicks won a championship, so you want them picks? Go ahead, take them picks. We got the championship. That's what it's about, because ultimately, and you said it before earlier today, halftime. When you're talking about today's game,
right.
In the past they wanted to play for no one sacrificed for the ring.
Right.
Jalen Brunson did.
Right.
Mikal Bridges actually, when he got extended, he took less money. So that's my whole thing. So it's like, all right, I get it. The draft picks mean something, but if you're winning the championship, they don't mean a damn thing. I'm sorry. I mean, they mean something. Let me not diminish them, but they don't mean as much as everyone tries to make them out to be. And again, here's the other thing. You never know what future draft picks end up looking like. The NFL, we see it all the time. All these quarterbacks, and then next thing you know, what do they say? Oh, they're not as good as we thought. It's a crapshoot. I'd rather go with vets. I'd rather go with vets. You know what? An often injured guy, he may have attitude problems, but I know what he has as far as talent versus a young kid coming in who's still scratching his hind parts, trying to figure out, how to play in the NBA as opposed to college or high school. So we'll see. We'll see.
We get to find out. This is why I love sports. We get to find out.
Yeah, you're right about that.
That's why I love sports. Find out what's going to happen.
And what was the greatest line Herm Edwards ever said? You play to win the game. And that's all sports. That's all sports.
You play to win the damn game.
And that's it. Look, line them up. And what I always say, a team can beat me. I'm going to look at the film and I'm going to come back. I'm going to try to figure out why you beat me. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to beat you. Right. So that's a competitor in me. So, but that's it. We're going to go ahead and move on to a little baseball now. And, start with the Phillies. And so the Phillies currently sit in the 4th in the AL conference.
Yep.
Are they playing themselves into contention for the NL East crown? Because you're 4 games out of Atlanta. 4 games. And I know you said before when Atlanta wins, the Phillies win. And when Atlanta lose, the Phillies lose. But doesn't that also set up for when you play each other? So I love game skills. I love
it really does.
So if we got 10 games left and you're 4 games ahead of me and I win, let's say I win 7 of those, doesn't that mean that I'm in front of you if everything else plays even?
That's what you need to do.
So
they're shocking me, but I still think that it's not even at the All-Star break yet. Still a lot of baseball left. Like I said, other teams are catching up too. You got the Marlins catching us. We got all the guys catching. A lot of more teams are catching us. And see, there's this. When you go to the All-Star break, say you got an All-Star game, you got Kyle Schwarber probably going to go. He's going to be on the All-Star game hitting home runs. He'll probably be in the home run derby. Then you'll probably have Marsh, and then you'll probably have Harper in there too, right? What happens, Coach, when the Phillies go into the All-Star game? Like when we have the Phillies have a player that goes to the All-Star. Boom. After the All-Star, boom, couldn't freaking swing a baseball bat. Nick Castellanos, he was there, and he went to shit. I'm worried about them going to shit after the All-Star.
Because you were talking about teams that catching them. San Diego, the Cubs are 2 out from them. Yeah. Cardinals are 2.5. Marlins are basically 3. So I get what you're saying. But let's see.
There's a lot of baseball left. So
yeah, no, I'm looking. Remember, I also look.
I'm just watching them come up fast.
Well, look, you won 4 straight, 7-3 over the last 10. The Cubs are 6-4, 4 straight.
Hopefully we win tonight.
The Padres. The Cubs are 7-3. The Cardinals are 4. So I get what you're saying about teams coming up behind them. So, but I also look at Atlanta.
Look forward, and they never look who's behind.
Yeah. Well, look, Atlanta though. Because you're 4 games back, but Atlanta is 3-7 over the last 10, so they haven't been playing well. So
look, Coach, look at Atlanta about to pass the friggin' Milwaukee.
How? They're 3-7 over the last 10, and Milwaukee is 7-3.
Yeah, they're getting ready. What, 1 game away from the friggin' Milwaukee? 2 games. Or half a game.
Atlanta is
a game. Is that what
a game and a half. Atlanta's a game and a half out from behind Milwaukee for the second.
You're talking about the Phillies being 4 games against the Braves. You don't think the Braves are going to freaking pass Milwaukee? And they're only a game and a half?
Again, I always look at the 10-game window, and that gives me everything to know. But I break it down in sets. That's the whole thing. That's why I do.
You're breaking it down in the set. I get it.
So, can they? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But no, I mean, like, everybody, I get what you were saying. You break it down into a set.
Yeah, and Atlanta is 2 games behind the Dodgers for the overall in the NL. So I get it. We need Welsh says we need another arm, but we don't have anything to trade.
Right, exactly.
Rangers are still in this thing, so
we need a right-handed bat. We need another starting pitcher. I
think everyone needs a starting pitcher.
We need but we need also a right-handed bat.
You have been saying that.
I've been saying it, but yeah. But the Phillies are doing better than I expected. But then I'm glad we got rid of Rob. It shows you get rid of Rob, what happens.
But that's my whole point too. That's the other thing. When you change the manager, it changed your whole fortune. So
you didn't bring that manager back, and you just rode with that manager. Where would you be?
Yeah, we need.
You hit it right on the head, Coach. Where would you be if you didn't bring Rob back, and you just said, "Hey, Don, run with it. You're it. You're the manager."
But that's my point. So if you're showing that when you change the manager or a coach and the player, and I get it, they were down in the hole, but you're 4 games out. So now I'm looking at the time frame that you had, the winning percentage that you had with Don Mattingly versus Rob. Now, if you're telling me with Rob, let's just say you're at 35%, and then with Mattingly, you're at 75%. That's a big difference. You could
Yeah.
literally be leading NL. So that's telling me you have a good squad. It's now everybody needs something. You can talk about pitching, you can talk about
No,
hitting.
everybody needs something.
Everyone.
That's from the Dodgers to freaking
Mm-hmm.
everybody. Even though the Dodgers have everybody in the world and they spend all this money, yes, even the Dodgers still need something.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Every team needs something.
Well, you're right. You're right. You being first without Rob, and that's my whole point. So it's like, are you playing yourself back into it? That's why I said the NL East. I didn't even try for the NL. I'm right now. I'm just setting the goal at the NL East, and you're 4 games out, and you still have games to play with Atlanta. And like you said, you're playing even with them. With it, if you win, they win. You lose, they lose. Okay, that means you're even. So when you come down to it, when you play them head to head, as long as you beat them head to head, you have the division.
You got to beat them though, but you got to beat them.
No, I agree with you. You're 1,000% correct. You have to beat them. That's what it comes down to. Now, look, everybody goes to the swings because, like I said, Atlanta is set 3-7. They can easily turn around over the next 10, go 7-3, and the Phillies go the opposite.
Everybody goes in a slump too.
Yeah, and like you said, it's still early. You haven't even hit the All-Star, but I do look at a little trends in how this team is playing and how they're being managed. And I've been saying it to you. This team is better than you guys, have been giving them credit for. And it's showing that, and you've been saying it. You've been saying it for how long? What, 3 years now? That the Rob wasn't a good manager. Yeah. So imagine if you didn't have him, where you could be.
So
and
look,
thank you, Welsh.
But if you watch the Phillies, what are they doing? They're playing small ball. It's fucking baseball, damn it. But I gotta call it small ball because y'all want to go hit home runs all day long. And I said the home runs would come. And what happened? They're playing small ball, they're getting guys on bases, and boom, there goes a home run. 3-run home run, 2-run home run. And why? Because you're on base. You're moving, doing sacrifices. You're moving guys over.
That and what have we been saying? What have we been? You've got Don Mattingly isn't strictly an analytic manager. He also plays by the seat of his pants. He plays by how the game is going.
Does he do analytics? Yes. Everybody does analytics. Yeah. But he doesn't do it like Rob and hold it like it's the Holy Bible. Like, hey, this is the blueprints. I figured it all out. Here's the blueprints how you fucking build this thing. Don Mattingly says, hey, by the seat of my pants, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make certain moves.
You feel the game. As a coach, I'm telling you from experience, you got to play. Yes, you want to use analytics to give you a little trend, and set certain things up. But when you're in the heat of the moment, what's going on? Because look, I got a play sheet. I can go by my play sheet, yes, as a football coach. But I also make adjustments to what's going on in the game. Right. Look, I may be running, and they're adjusting, but now we can run cutback off of a run action, or we can run boot, or play action, whatever the case may be. That doesn't mean I stick to my my game plan.
Right,
100%.
Now, what was it? 2 nights ago, Don. I forget what team it was we were playing, but he was awesome. So they pulled their pitcher in the 9th. And friggin' Don, on his own, it wasn't analytics that told him. He went and pulled the batter and put Hill in. And then Hill hit a 2-run home run. I was on against the Nationals. Hits a 2-run home run, comeback win. But that was not analytics telling you that. That was him flying by the seat of the pants saying, all right, you made this move. Checkmate. I'm making this move. You know what I mean?
The whole thing because Dombrowski teams are starting to show terrible farm system. We'll watch him do it with my Tigers, then saw it in on the Red Sox, and now my Phillies.
Hey. Yep. He's right about Dombrowski. He really hurt this farm system. We have nothing. This is why I always say, like this, like when I ask you about the Knicks, you hurt your farm system. You're hurting, when you don't have nobody in the back to come up.
Well,
that's why you gotta get
excuse me. Let me ask this too.
Traded everybody.
Okay, and that's good. You can't trade all your young talent. I get you, but here's the thing: if you have other players there, what about player development? Like everyone always talks about the farm system and it's depleted and this or that, but if you have good coaching that can help develop your players, because you do still have talent. You may not have your top level talent, but what about bringing what's in the single A and develop them to get to double A, and then double A getting them up to triple A? What about that? Like we get so stuck on the top 100 in the lower levels, blah 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 blah. What about your development? What about your coaching? Because to be honest with you,
the farm system coaching could be a problem.
Now that talk to me, and when you tell me, well, we need to have better coaching. Now, as an organization, you need to identify that, and guess what you need to do? You made a change at the top level. You better make the changes at the bottom level.
Right. Like I was wrong about Painter. I love the kid, and I thought he was going to be a good player. Right. I'm wrong about him. But they rode with him, and they could have got his value was so high. And this is why I always say, this is what I was saying about getting rid of somebody, and when at the peak of their thing, at the market, we could have got so much for him. You know what I mean? And we wouldn't have been hurting.
Okay,
we wouldn't be hurting for a right-handed bat. We wouldn't be hurting for certain things. But they should know, as coaches, hey, after his Tommy John surgery, he's not the same. You got to get rid of him because he's not the guy that you think he is going to be. And now the Phillies are biting themselves in the ass. You know what I mean? And you got to blame you got to blame coaches, and you got to blame people that are, the medical staff, you want, whatever you want to do, and say, hey, this guy's not going to be the same. He's scared or whatever it is, saying, he lost his touch. This time you got to try to get rid of him as whatever his highest trade value is. But now they're biting themselves in the ass, the Phillies are, because Painter had Tommy John surgery and he's not what he is supposed to be. That's why I always like the peak of the trade, somebody's trade value. You should take it.
It's a catch-22 halftime. I get what you're saying, but sometimes you can't just be trading people just to be trading.
I'm not saying just trade people just to trade them. But if somebody's offering you the moon, you got to sit there and say, yo, let me put a break. Let me look into this.
Look, if you're telling me somebody's offering you the moon for a certain player, yeah, I'm with you there. But if somebody comes to you and says they're going to offer you the moon for your very best player just because, and you're going to just go trade them just because you...
No, it depends on, but like I said, it depends on what you're getting. You know what I mean?
It's also who it is. That's my point. Sometimes it look, your best player, just because, look, if somebody came to the Yankees, as much as he's injured, and you talk about Aaron Judge, Aaron Boone. Aaron Judge. Unless you're talking about you're going to offer him 20 damn first-round draft picks and, young players to go to boot with it, there's just certain players. You went to the Dodgers, and they talk about you're not going to trade Ohtani. You're not. There's nothing that you can say to the Dodgers and offer to them that they can say, yeah, we're going to. First of all, Ohtani is a damn freak, because he's a pitcher and a hitter.
First of all, he hits, he pitches, he
Mm-hmm.
he can play in the outfield.
Yeah, so
He's won
that's
in
my
the Phillies.
point.
He's won
That's
in the
what
Phillies.
Aaron Judge is the same way. As much
Right.
as he doesn't come in the clutch in the playoffs, he's injured. He's always injured.
He always
I mean, you want to talk about overpaying? You need to overpay to get Aaron Judge away from the Yankees. Because otherwise, here's the other thing. Ownership, the money that he makes alone for them.
right.
So that's why sometimes it's like, all right, who are we talking about? I'm not just going to trade certain people just to be trading them. It's,
Right.
what do they bring me as an organization? You know,
How much
so
money they're putting in your pocket?
yeah, that's the other thing. That's why, as a Knicks fan, the amount of money, that's why it's frustrating when they talk about they don't want to go to the second apron, because we've all said it. Hell, we've seen the playoff tickets for the championship.
Yep.
What was it? 5,000 just to get into the nosebleeds? Come on, man.
$7,000 to get in the nosebleed.
Yeah. So
And
it's like
it was jam packed.
yeah. So off topic, but I just read the Royals beat the White Sox 22 to what?
To 1? 22 to 1?
Hold on a second. Let me see. Yankees losing again to Boston.
Wait a minute. Sorry about that. That is crazy.
Okay, they're beating the Astros now, so it wasn't today. Was it yesterday?
Probably.
No, it's 8-0 yesterday. What day? Because I'm sitting here trying to find it, and I can't.
Yeah, what day was that?
Yeah, put it in the chat today. You know that you're talking about, because I was just looking. You saw I'm looking. I'm like, I can't find
I was
it.
like, wait a minute, hold on, we gotta look at that one.
Yeah, 22 to 1. Unless it's something early in the season that we missed. So I mean,
Maybe.
all right, but hey, all right. Well, we touched on the Phillies. Let's talk about a little bit the Yankees. And my question is, with the Yankees, they sit atop the AL as a whole. Will they be able to hold on to that spot and not fizzle out? And like for right now, you're going to get swept by Boston. You're going to get swept by Boston, your arch rival, and Boston is not a good
team.
They're not a good.
Didn't they just fire their coach?
Yeah, they fired their manager early.
That's the coach I wanted. I'm like, dude, they got that dude. That's the guy they want to fire.
Yeah. So, in all, oops, what the hell did I just do? Okay, in all of, look, they're a game out of Tampa Bay, and they're about ready to lose to Boston. Boston right now is third worst in the American League. Third worst. And you're about to get ready to get swept by Boston. And if Tampa Bay wins,
your injuries are that bad.
Aaron Judge is out. And there's one other player that but he's not a key starter, but everyone else is there. I mean, you just got Garrett Cole, who's playing himself back into the rotation. But yeah, everyone else is there. Chad, I mean, all their key players are there. Algrom, first inning, strikeout, third inning, double, 6. Okay, I don't know what he's talking about. But yeah, the Yankees, all their key players are there for the most part. And you're gonna get swept by Boston. I mean, right now I think they're losing 4-1. Yeah, they're losing 4-1 to Boston. Yesterday they lost 6-1, and I think they started. Yeah, and they lost Thursday 6-3 to Boston. And that's the arch rival. Now you talk about getting rid of a manager.
Yeah, you got rid of Boston. Got rid of a manager,
It won't kill me because look, Yankees are sitting up top in all of American League. I get it, but you're the Yankees. You're the motherfucking Yankees.
You're
There's
supposed,
no
you're supposed to be
excuse
up
there.
always on top.
Look at it. You got 3 National League teams over you in all of baseball.
Yep.
Now, mind you, you're 3.5 out. I get it. And that's my point. And you're doing this without Aaron Judge right now. And to be struggling, and here's the thing, they seem to struggle against the now against the lower seeded teams. Earlier in the season, Grisham is hurt. Thanks, Thomas Lynch. I appreciate that. Phillies are 10 game over for him now, and the top wild card spot only 4. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. So, and Grisham is hurt. Okay, fine. That's another key player who's out. I think that's who I was talking about too. But NYG talked about it. He said the biggest thing with the Yankees when they were playing the better teams, they were losing. Now they got on the winning streak. They got up there, but now you're losing to Boston. You're about ready to get swept by Boston.
That's
Swept.
crazy.
Swept. I can't. And you're 4-6 over the last 10. 4-6. This is why I put that question out there. That's why I asked the question. Oops,
That's a good one.
Can the Yankees hold on to their lead? And my concern is no. And I think, and you still have to play more with Tampa Bay, and you always seem to have problems with Tampa Bay head to head. Yeah, it compares things in comparison to the NL. Yeah, you're right, Arco. It is weird with him. Donnie Baseball is the real deal. He should already be in the Hall of Fame. Shame on the writers for that. But Mattingly is my favorite Yankee of all time. But that's a different story, So
He should be a Hall of
halftime.
Fame.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the hockey in a little bit. Trust me, guys. But I appreciate the question. And getting back to the Yankees, that's my concern. Can they hold on to this league? And I don't think so, because their play is the net. An American League is not that hard to win.
No,
they should be blowing it away. If you're truly a World Series contender, you should be blowing the whole conference away. So you're right, Thomas. Tampa Bay can catch the Yankees right now. If they're head to head, Tampa Bay has already beaten them for the division. They beat them head to head so far. I know they have more games, and that's the issue. In Tampa Bay, halftime, you talk about small ball. They don't play with a lot of money in their organization. No, the Yankees aren't going after Dom because whatchamacallit is so in love with Aaron Boone. It's like their boyfriend. It's like their boyfriend and boyfriend. Let's just put it like that. And and they're so big on analytics. And
that's a big thing.
I
don't
first
get
of all,
it,
to me, first of all, for me to make a change at the manager, you got to get rid of the GM. Otherwise, it's like Aaron Boone has something on him. He has a secret that keeps him in the because yes. As Yankee fans, we put our expectations higher than any other baseball organization out there. But the Yankees, they've shown in the past, throughout the course of their history, who they are. So yes, I have concerns about the Yankees. I do. So, but I'm going to close it right there.
When you lose to Boston like that, that's a big concern.
That's a big concern. So, but we're going to now move on, talk about your Eagles. No, sorry. First, we're going to back it up. I was supposed to do the question of the day.
No.
Sorry. Here's the question of the day. What's the most absurd rule you would make if you were suddenly in charge of the world? Now, I told you
on this one, Coach.
I told you I have a silly one, okay? And guess what? When I say it, we're all going to say, damn, that includes me too. I know it includes me, but to all those people out there who are saying stupid stuff, I mean, utterly stupid stuff, and that's even stuff that is extremely egregious. Now, I don't think we go egregiously, but if you say super stuff, you need to have your lips sewn shut for the rest of your life. So they need to take a needle and zip, 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 zip. But those who, really seriously, it was more geared towards those who were going out there and talking about racism, sexism, things of that nature against somebody's religious practices. You don't agree with it, but, oh, you don't have a right, stuff like that. You really need to have your lips sewn shut for the rest of your life. And and the only way you get to eat is through a feeding tube that they put in and come into your mouth. That's it. But everything else, nah, you need to shut up. So that's yeah, that would be an absurd rule. So I told you I had one that was.
See, I was kind of on the same page as you. When you told me it, I'm like, wait, let me hold on. I was gonna go with if you do dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like driving a car, you do dumb shit. And people are in the fast lane, but they're going fucking 40 miles an hour and they won't get over. Dumb shit. Like you should have some problem. Like right then and there, the cop should pull you over. Somebody gets to pull you over to somebody, take a cane, and beat your ass. Because if those people don't get out of my way, listen, don't get in the pay, don't go in the fast lane and not want to drive. I don't know where you're not going, but people need to go somewhere. I mean, that's what that like when you said this, I was like, my instant was just driving because I drive so much. And it's like like if you're in the fast lane, after you pass somebody, you get over to the right. Don't give a damn. Let the guy behind you, if he's trucking, let him truck. You ain't got to block him. You ain't damn a football player. You ain't got to slow people down because you want them to slow down. If they want to get the ticket, let them get the ticket. Just slide over to the right. When you're going faster than somebody, get in the left, pass them, slide back over. It ain't that hard. But then, you know what? The thing is, if you are in the freaking speeding lane and you don't get over, somebody should be able to pull you over, take a freaking cane out, and beat your ass.
Yes, I love it.
Beat your ass.
Put him on the trees, spread eagle. Just like, whack.
Why are you whipping his ass? I said, he won't get over. You start beating somebody like that. No, you know what? I'll tell you, everybody like, they would go and quick moving over.
What says my dad always stay in the left lane. If he goes slow, I always tell him, but it never works. He's talking about his dad. Yep. There you go. Pull him over, get him on the tree, cane him. And
I'm always on 55. And I'm like, why is there a traffic jam? And there's no accident. No, this guy on the left is slowing everybody up. Oh, get over. Please.
I'm with you on that one. Yeah, so look, we got some good ones.
When I said it, I went like this. I was like, we can't do this one. I'm going to get myself in trouble.
Well, look, I said what I said too, man.
You know what I mean?
Can you imagine?
You came over, I'm like, all right, I'll be all right. I'm good. I'm all good, man.
I told you I had a student would make, because you walk around, you see people.
As soon as you said it, like you said, we were saying, talking back in the thing, I'm like, it went straight to get the guys out of the fucking pass lane. Put them over. I'm beat them. Just take the cane and beat their ass.
That's why I said, those who say something stupid, man, give me a needle and thread. And that's why I said needle and thread. And
needle and thread.
Sew their mouths shut for the rest of their lives. When you walking down the street, oh, he said something stupid. Oh, she said something stupid. Their mouths are all, they can't say nothing. They can't say anything. You can't even go out and have a good meal because you know what? You got to have that process and you got to make it liquefied because that's the only way they can eat it. Yeah. So,
I'm with you. Mine has to go to the freaking pass. The people that are freaking passing lane, and they're driving like 50 miles an hour.
Yeah,
the goddamn speed limit 70.
Look,
you know that your foot is on the gas pedal. Hit that damn thing down.
Look, I'm saying this, man. Y'all, people drive like that. They better not go to Germany and drive on the Autobahn because, you in the left lane. Yeah, there's people doing over 100 miles an hour. There's no speed limit there. So, yeah, I'm with you there. I'm with you. Get over, man. Get over, man.
You got people blowing horns. You got 18-wheelers. Get the hell out
why do you think there's so much road rage? Because sometimes, just, you know what? It's always been a rule. Pass and then move over. It's always been like that. Keep that left lane free.
There was a couple of weeks ago. I'm driving on 55. It was like the violent exit.
Mm-hmm.
Two guys are pulled over. They're fist fighting. The road rage. They're fist fighting. I'm like, yeah, beat that guy's ass. He probably was in the fast lane.
I would have
beat his ass. He probably was in the fast lane.
Bro.
And there you go.
Man, my dumb ass, I would have pulled over, got on the back of my car, got some popcorn, just sat there and watched. Like, yeah, get him.
Like, everybody slowed down to watch it. So I'm like, beat his ass.
Exactly.
Damn it.
Oh my
God. I'm just thinking to myself, like, dude, you really got some issues. You need to really think about what you're doing. You don't even know what the fight's about. You're like, he's in the fast lane.
Oh, hell yes, man. There's some good ones that I can come up with. But it was just a state law.
People do dumb shit like that.
And that's that was the whole point, man. I mean, they're just certain things like, man, I don't want to get. And look, I got more, but I don't want to say it on here. I don't want to say it on here. I don't want to say it.
I was like, dude, I can't do this.
Yes,
I always got that. You know what? I always got that in my head. Like when we start talking, I'm like, oh shit, fuck around, find out. Here we go.
Yep.
I'm gonna say something that is going to be out of hand.
Exactly. So, hey, that's why I saw it. I was like, yeah, I knew you would like that question. I knew it. I knew it.
Said it.
Everybody else is being quiet because they don't want to put their stuff out. Y'all don't be scared. Don't be scared. Put it out there. Put it out there. Come on. But all right, we're gonna move on to the Eagles now. And I was reading the article. It said Tariq Woolen and the Eagles defense have shown they're ahead of the offense. So, and I know you were talking about it earlier. Is there concerns with the offense's development? Will the offense be as productive as it has been in the past? And you can say, yes, you always have a new coordinator, but your offense has always been productive. But is there concerns that that this offense will not be able to keep up with the defense?
Yes.
Because your defense is stout. I mean, I looked at your starters, and I'm like,
damn. Well, last year showed you, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Because how did we win some of our games?
Mm-hmm. What's your defense? Mm-hmm.
Hey, we block field goal, run it in for a touchdown to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
We lost the game. If it wasn't for the blocked field goal, running back for a touchdown, what was it? 80 goddamn yards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we would have lost, I would say, about 4 or 5 games.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for our defense. That was last year. Now, the rookie Lemon, everybody loves him. He's a slot receiver. Everybody loves him. What does he say to the media? He said, this offense is so, it's hard to understand. And he goes, I'm not the only one. And people are like, oh, well, he's a rookie. No, he what he's trying to tell you, there is other players out there are saying the same thing to this kid that is a rookie. It could be Devontae Smith. It could be Saquon Barkley. It could be anybody. You know what I mean? It could be the tight ends. Then you get rid of AJ Brown. You know, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna take us a step back, but listen. Shame me once for saying, "Hey, you got a new offense. You guys got an offensive coordinator never called a play before." Shame me twice for falling for it the second time. Third time, I ain't falling for it. I'm just done. I'm just like, hey, dude never called a play back. I don't know what it's going to be. And the offense is crying that they don't even get it.
Damon asked the question, do you think the Eagles made the mistake of drafting Lemon after his comments about him not getting along with the team and calling them soft?
I think we should never got rid of AJ Brown. I never thought. And it kind of leads that way, Damien. But he's young. He's going to say some stupid comments, and he'll get a rude awakening. They'll give him a rude awakening in the locker room, and they'll straighten the young man out.
What? Never mind. I'm not even touching that. I'm not touching that.
What
Sorry.
the heck was that one?
No. All right. That's the question on the Eagles. I do think your defense.
Think about it, Coach?
I think your defense is.
You're the outside looking in. I'm just a fan. I'm the Eagles fan, but what do you see looking on the outside, looking in, hearing about the offensive coordinator and all that?
As far as the offensive coordinator, it needs time. I mean, look, offense always needs continuity in the long run, and it just takes time, and you got to let it develop. Defense is more reactive, so and you guys have been playing under the same system, so they're comfortable. They know all the checks, they know what to do, so guys can play a lot faster. So that's to your overall benefit. But you still need the offense to be productive. And taking away A.J. Brown, who's going to be that type of receiver who commands multiple eyes on him? That's the biggest thing. If you don't command multiple eyes, it makes it a little bit easier. Now, you can make the argument about, smaller receivers, but you can also use that to your advantage with their quickness. And, it just comes down to how do you utilize them? Now you make the argument that he's never been a play caller. If you're talking about in the NFL, I can tell you this: if you put me in the NFL and make me an offensive coordinator, my ability, I know I've called plays before, maybe not at the NFL level, but I have, 20, almost 30 years of experience being a play caller. So, and it doesn't matter if it's low level, high school, college, semi-pro, it doesn't matter, arena, it doesn't matter. A play caller is a play caller. You understand and you can handle the pressure and you make decisions at a split moment. So I would, but the biggest thing is, understanding your players' abilities and putting them in the position to be successful. So that's really what it boils down to. I do think you need to, it's going to take you some time to get acclimated. And well, you said it earlier. I mean, and Mitch, the division is getting a lot closer. So you don't have the time, you don't have that latitude to really figure things out. You gotta jump on it right off the bat and keep going. So I don't think the training was a bad move because he was nothing but toxic in the locker room. Was never look.
He's a number one wide receiver, Damien. He's over 1,000 yards. He gets double teamed every fucking time. That's why Devontae Smith is open. It's because, guess what? Somebody's got to be fucking open because he's getting double teamed.
Yeah.
You just took that away.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. Who's going to command the double teams? And Wells, I am a coach. I am a multifaceted coach. I've been a head coach. I've been an offense coordinator, been a special teams coordinator. I've been a defensive coordinator. I've coached every individual position on a football team. Um, so I am a multifaceted coach. You can put me in wherever, and I'm very confident in my abilities as a coach, whether it's as a head coach, whether it's as a coordinator, whether it's a position coach. I'm going to maximize the talent that I have, and I'm going to put them in the position to be successful. So, um, you know, understanding defenses, yes, as an offense coordinator, that's to my advantage. I understand defenses. I know what they're going to do. I know how to identify their tendencies, in certain situations of the game. So I know how to attack them. I know how to read their players, their leverages, their footwork, their stance, every little thing. So yes, and offensively, I know how to teach my guys to identify that and know how to attack it. So I'm just confident as a football coach. I just am. I mean, I still would probably be doing it if I, didn't have to deal with my situation. So I love coaching, been coaching since 1981. I'm a student of the game. So I hope that answers your question. So we're going to move on to the next football topic. And of course, it's about my Giants. And the inside linebacker duo of Tremaine Edmonds and Alvin Reese have been causing problems in practice that I've been reading and checking out. And do I think it can transition to the regular season? Yes. Tremaine Edmonds, every game, every season that he's been in the league, and it's I think 9 years now, he's had over 100 tackles every season. Alvin Reese, we know what he's done in college. Everyone talks about he's the edge rusher. No, if you go watch Ohio State, he was actually an off-ball linebacker. Did they use him to bring the pressure? Yes. That's some of the things you want to do with him and with his talent. But you don't just make him a one-dimensional type of player. He can drop in the coverage. He can cover the seams. He can play in zone. He can run man-to-man with the tight ends and running backs, and some slot receivers to a lesser extent. So, and they're both built the same way. 6'4", about 240, 245 pounds. Reese runs a 4.40. Edmund runs a 4.5, which is extremely fast for inside linebackers. So, and they know how to read. They know how to play the linebacker position. Reese is still young. He's still learning. And even Jackson Dart said it in practice. They're causing a lot of problems on that side of the ball. So I think they're going to be good. K. Brown says, "What's up, halftime?"
What's up, K-Brown?
Is that a good exactly? Well, that it's for the Giants. That's what we've been living for. We've been wanting it for years, and to have two guys like that, I'm telling you, if the front line can keep them clean, teams are going to have a hard time running. They're going to have a hard time running. Now, there's certain things on the back end with the passing. We have concerns with our defensive backs, and hopefully they get it down packed. But you talk about the Eagles defense. I'm hoping the Giants get back to their bread and butter in terms of defense. Exactly. That's what we need to do. We need to be defense first with the run game to set up play action.
Yep.
And if we do that, we're going to cause a lot of problems. And, what's your thoughts on those two linebackers, though, for the Giants?
I think that's one of the things why I said you guys were going to be in probably second in our division. Them two guys right there, they're something to reckon with. They're going to be something to reckon with this year. Your whole team, I mean, you ain't got hardball. And these guys are going to be – hardball knows how to handle shit. You guys got a good coaching staff now, and you got a good state of mind coaches. They know where to put their guys and get their guys in the right position to succeed. Them guys are going to be they're ball hawks. That's what they do. They're going to – and they love the hit. They can freaking hit. When they hit, you're going to get, hey, welcome to the NFL when they hit you. That's why I said I think you guys are going to pass Dallas this year. I'm telling you, I think Dallas is going to take a go down one, but what I kept on saying to you, Coach, it's like a one game win where it can go either way. And I think the Giants passed the Dallas Cowboys. I think they passed the Dallas Cowboys this year.
Tim, I can't stand the Cowboys.
I can't stand the Cowboys, but I think you guys passed the Cowboys. I think it's going to be like a one game between the Eagles and the Giants who wins our division. And it's going to be a good one. It's this, but everybody's going to be close in our division now. If the Commanders, quarterback could stay healthy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right about that.
It could be a wrecking win, but like I said, I just think it's like it's going to be between the Eagles and the Giants. And you beat us the last game, right?
No, it was the first game. I think.
Oh, it was the first game you walloped. You beat the hell out of us. So, I think it's going to be just like that. Right at the end, when we get there, it's going to be very close.
I'll be happy if we can win both games against Dallas.
Damien, and a lot of people are not looking at it, but you guys are going to turn this around. And I know a lot of people are not seeing it right now. When football starts, you're going to be like, where the fuck did the fucking Giants come from?
That's
you
what
guys
I'm hoping.
Made in your draft picks.
Yeah,
you're not even tooting the horns about the draft picks yet.
No, I agree with you, and that's why. Look, the biggest thing is, which ties into what Damien is making a statement here, and I'm going to say this, Damien, and I'm not making it a political issue, but Harbaugh is the one factor. We have a head coach now who controls the whole locker room, the whole organization. This ain't bum anymore. So look, you can have your political whatever. There's no issues in this locker room. Guys have come out and said they're behind Dart. Look, he has his political beliefs and whatever, and I stand by. I don't agree with it, but I stand by his right. So
he gets the right to have his own opinion about.
I may not agree with you, but nah. Star Wars asked you about, do you think you should trade Jalen Carter? And Welsh says, why trade him? So
I don't know what you would get for him. Star Wars, to be honest with you. And
need what?
I don't think the Eagles will trade him because of they're all in on him. They're trying to, you know what I mean? They don't want to give up on him just yet. I mean, but to me, what am I getting?
Well,
what are you trading me? You want Jalen Carter? What are you giving me?
Here's the other thing, especially in football, you don't trade talent like that just because. I mean, there's issues.
You don't trade people just because. You trade them for, hey, what are you giving me? If I'm making, like I said, when I say, Coach, if you're giving me the moon, I have to look into it.
I'm gonna say, hey,
I'm just gonna get a number one fucking draft pick. No,
I'll say this, okay. And we had probably one of the biggest assholes in Giants history in Lawrence Taylor. But there's just some talent that you just don't, and I get it. As fans, you don't like it. You feel that the player also represents you. But sometimes as fans, I'm going to be honest, we need to separate ourselves from, because the players are people. Just look at the talent. I mean, how many players have, done some atrocious things and still get the opportunity to still play in the NFL after doing whatever?
Yeah, look at which boy shot himself in the leg.
Yes. I mean, tactical burst. Yeah. So you side on the
shit. For some odd reason, they all do dumb shit.
Look at Michael Vick. Vick, what he did, and he still came back and redeemed himself. and even serve jail time. So my point being is, okay, he didn't act appropriate. He spit on another
I
man.
wish I knew about YouTube and did all this YouTube. When I called Michael Vick going to the Eagles.
Mm.
I called. It was 90. It wasn't 94-1 at the time. It was 6-10 at the time. I called him. I said, Eagles going for Michael Vick. They said, are you crazy? I said, not crazy. I said, they're going for Michael Vick. I called up in 6-10 because it was 6-10 at the time. I said, the Eagles are getting Michael Vick. They're like, no way. My boss, like me and my boss went to the game. I said, Joe, the Eagles are going to go for Michael Vick. Watch. And when it came, I said, he got friggin' front row fucking seats. And the friggin' he knows everybody. They're like, dude, Eagles just got Michael Vick. He looked at me and said, you're an asshole. I'm like, oh, that means they got Michael Vick. He looked at me and goes, how did you know? I said, Eagles like to rebuild people. And that's what he does, Give him the second chance. But I called that. I wish it was 90. I wish I fucking was on here when I called because I've said it fucking before it happened. I'm like, watch the Eagles. Eagles going for him. My brother looked at me. My brother called me an asshole. My brother called me an asshole for it. He goes, what's wrong with you? You're an asshole.
You just call yourself the prophet. That's all. There you go. You're the prophet.
I just said, you'll see.
All right. Last thing we're going to talk about before we get out of here. A little bit of NHL with the draft. And your thoughts. I mean, I'm not as well versed in the NFL.
The Flyers did good. I just looked what the Flyers did. The Flyers did good. They got a defenseman that's 6'7", not on skates. So he's like almost 7 foot tall. So he got to get stronger. Probably he got to put some weight on. Probably muscle. But he's a defenseman. He hit hard. He hits hard, and he also can score. So they did good there, and they got I seen they got a center. I believe they got a center because they traded down, so they got a couple of picks. So they did all right.
Rangers got a defenseman, and
I can't pronounce his name. He's from Russia or something.
I'm scrolling down trying to find everybody. St. Louis.
I think it was
the Devils got a center, Alexander Command from Sweden. Islanders got another Swede defenseman, Malte Gustafsson.
I was actually hoping for him, but I know we weren't trading up that high.
What did you trade back to? What number? What?
I think it was 26.
Okay. Let me see. Scroll down a little bit. Pittsburgh, Detroit, Vancouver, Ottawa. There's 26 Montreal.
No, there's 27.
Maxim Sokolovsky.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Sokolovsky. So, 6'7", 238. Man.
He a big boy. He just got to make some muscle and be able to, he can hit.
He says, talking who wants to play a tough, mean, physical game with the trees on the back end. They drafted the best tree available. This is about as surprising as the sky being blue or the sun rising. Sokolovsky is actually the type of player that Tocchet likes and that the Flyers are trying to accumulate. He's raw, excellent skater. For his size, he's physical and overpowers the puck carriers with his strength. Wouldn't be a surprise to see him relied upon as a key penalty killer, as a big matchup minutes eater in the middle pairing. They leave value on the board with Tommy Blyo and Alexander Villanueva, but it's about organizational fits. I agree with you, in terms of organizational fits with players. So
it was a good move. It really was. But you're not going to see him for years. It could be 3, maybe 4 years. It could be 5 years when you see them.
Okay. And let me check in on the Rangers real quick. And the Devils. Rangers got a defenseman from Germany, Albert Schmitz. The Latvian defenseman is the textbook higher on the team list and the rankings. He's a big defender who many feel is guaranteed to step into a top 4 role as soon as next season. Ooh.
Yeah, he's a bully. He's a bully. He's a good one. You motherfucking like you fucking cocksucker.
Curve and exponential. The combination of 6'3" above average skating, an engine that never stops, and desire to physically dominate the opponents. Okay. Hey,
he's a bully. That dude, when he hits you, you watch when he hits somebody. You're like, oh damn, that dude wakes somebody up. Then somebody's gonna need some smelling sauce when he hits them. He's a good guy.
The Devils Commanders draft stock shot up at the combine with his interview process and physical testing. He has the personality that matches the fiery competitor that he is on the ice. Command physically overpowers it. It sounds like everybody's doing the same thing. They're going for physicality now. And beats them up on areas of the ice. And at the bare minimum, Command has all the makings of a third-line center who is a genuine nightmare to play against, otherwise known as exactly the type of player you want in the Stanley Cup playoffs. He is developing offensive instincts and shooting capability, leading to an uptick in scoring towards the end of the season. So, interesting. You guys get me interested.
But see, the thing is, what they're doing now is they got speed now. Now now in hockey, what they want to try to do is get that physicality back and start hitting harder. They're trying to, hey, analytics told you can have smaller guys and faster guys, right, to win the game. And then they looked at who went to the championship, who went to the freaking Stanley Cup, and that was the freaking Vegas and the Hurricanes. They were fast, but they were physical. So now everybody wants to get physical, and they're going to get defensemen that can hit back because teams don't have players that can hit back like the Hurricanes and the Vegas Knights. That's what they went around. They went and said, "Oh, look at what Vegas did. Look what the Hurricanes did. They went and got physical. They went and got guys, but they also went with speed."
Okay. Yeah, me peaked and curious now, so I'm gonna be watching a little bit more hockey. So
Rangers good. That defenseman from the Rangers, oh my god! I'll tell you what, I'm telling you, when he hits somebody, he's going to bring out smelling sauce.
Okay, I like that thought. So we'll be.
I mean, that dude can hit. I'll give you that one. That dude can hit.
All right.
And I like when they got to bring the violence back in hockey. It's hockey. That's what it is. It's hockey, and that's all it is violence.
We hear you, Star Wars. You're coming up.
Star Wars, I'm getting ready to get on there, buddy.
Yeah,
I'll be watching. I'll be on.
You're going to be streaming today and tomorrow, Phillies games?
I'm going to be streaming today and see what's happening tomorrow. I don't know if I have to go see some family members or whatever.
Got you. That's
I didn't get to see like my brother's wife and his 4 kids. I kind of pulled back the reins. I let them try to figure shit out. I didn't want to jump over there and like, hey, let's talk, you know. So,
all right. Well, no,
the rain delay. All right. So. Rain delay, Star Wars, chill out.
Yeah, no. I mean, you still are going to be streaming it, so unless they cancel it, so
unless they cancel it.
Yankees lost, so there you have it. So they got swept by Boston. So
Braves play today? Did the Braves play today?
Hold on. Let me look. I think they do. MLB and schedule. Let's see. see. Come on, man. What's taking so long? Thank you. Arizona. Atlanta is at San Francisco tonight, 9:05.
All right. Need
So,
that need that to be a win.
we'll
We need to win, and they need to lose. We need the Giants to win.
And let's see. I'm going to be busy as always. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be streaming the New York Liberty versus the Golden State Valkyries. Liberty needs this game. Monday, I'll be doing 2:00. I'll be doing another read and attack sports show. Tuesday, I got WNBA. We're doing a doubleheader. WNBA courtside view in the talking WNBA, but we'll also do the Commissioners. The Commissioners Cup. Wednesday, I got Pick and Roll and Heart of the City, and then Thursday, I'm busy.
I want to talk to you about something, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing the women's basketball. I haven't been watching like every game. That girl Clark, they fouled the shit out of her. Didn't they just one girl just put her fist in her throat?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
Alyssa Thomas.
There's no real.
Well, she got suspended. She got suspended. They upgraded it to a flagrant 2, so she's actually sitting tonight's game. So the league stepped in. So, but I will say this though, because there's also a counter argument, and look, it gets into this debate between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, because they're showing how Angel Reese has been attacked and and nothing is done. They also showed where Sophia Cunningham did some foul stuff, man. She took 2 hands on a player and literally threw them on the ground, and nothing was called. So there are people that are tired of the Indiana Pacers, and they got some good players. They got players that I love. I love Aaliyah Boston. So don't think I don't like Indiana, but I love Aaliyah Boston. But there are people that are tired of the Caitlin Clark talk and like she's the greatest thing to the WNBA, and that's my only thing. There has been talent. I mean, you're looking at the greatest player right now in the WNBA in Aja Wilson. I mean, she's doing more things than anybody in the past, and she's just an afterthought. But Caitlin Clark
she's getting shadowed by.
And yeah, Caitlin Clark's game still needs to be developed. She's a very good player. I am not taking anything away from her. When she played at Iowa, there were things that I love. She's a Big Tenner. Anybody knows me. I support the Big Ten 1,000%. But you know what? There's a level that you can go to that crosses reality. And she still needs to develop her game and continue to develop her game. And I mean, you got, guys who, you got players who, who after her, who like Paige is doing well. So, but again, not taking anything away from Caitlin. She's an all-star. She deserves all her accolades, but she's not the greatest thing to the WNBA. So, and we just went over that. His name is Sokolov, I think. Sokolovsky. Yeah. So
he is hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
Well, I got to figure out the name of the
going. I don't have a problem with it because they're already playing 44 games. So, you're going up to 60. I know some people don't like it, but, it's 6 games. I have more of a concern where you're literally after the NCAA, a week later, you're doing the draft, and it's like, you need a little break sometimes. So if you have the most popular player in a sport needing fans, maybe don't have the entire league. That's look, there's so much I can go into, I mean, you even got video of Caitlin Clark telling another player, shut the F up. I can do whatever I want to do out here. Yeah, I'm like, excuse me? Old school, what you just saw Alyssa Thomas do ain't nothing, so, but again, I'm not vouching for that, but, in the same token, a cat like me, if I was playing, you can do whatever you want. I'll get kicked out of the game. I'll get suspended, but I'm telling you right now, you're gonna feel me. That's what I'm gonna say. So, but look,
yeah, I just seen like I haven't watched like the whole game and all. I didn't watch it. I'm like, dude, she just put her fist in her throat. Like, come on, like this is basketball. And I mean, they're just trying to, like, they're giving every cheap shot they can to her.
Good luck, Arthur. Look, Caitlin does her some stuff too. So again, I just, it's basketball. Let it play out. Cut all the other BS.
Yeah, when you're pulling somebody's hair because and throwing them to the ground, I'm like, all right, there's a fine line.
Look, Damien,
I didn't get to watch it also.
Yeah, there's so much I don't want to get into. So, but we're gonna get out of here because halftime has to get ready for his other stream. So, appreciate everyone for tapping in and rocking with us. We'll be back next week, and until the next show, everyone. What do you always say before we get out of here?
Catch you guys on the rebound. Peace.
All right, peace.
Gather round for the halftime chat. Old friends cracking jokes and talking stats. From life's little games to the greatest plays. Love and the stories from the old glory days. With Phillies heart and coach's cheer. We break it down every moment, dear. Life is a team and we've got the plan. Sports, love, and laughter, that's who we am.